Hi, I'm Kellyanne Cass. Welcome to this channel, Stone The Crone. A reminder of the movie with Rebecca De Mornay, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. The hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world. Well, this last couple of days and week has been, what can I say? I literally picked somebody on GETTR today and, as a disbelief, and I literally put some photos and this thing that that I'd come across, and he was like, holy whoa, holy cow. So where we're at is men that identify as women or say that they're women inducing lactation and feeding their newborn babies. And when you read the little piece thereof, he says that he gets about a tablespoon of milk, if you could call that milk, the chemical pus sludge that's brought on, that he's feeding his child. This is so I breastfed both my children. Breastfeeding is a huge part of, I believe, of the health of a child. And he sort of said in his little thing that he'd put up, because he hasn't shown his full identity. And, before anyone sort of says, but he identifies as a lesbian. He's probably had the snip and flip. No, he wouldn't have had a newborn baby if he's had the snip and flip. So this is a man with what they refer to as lady dick feeding a newborn baby. So rewriting the movie with Rebecca De Mornay, the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world, is that movie literally could now be reimagined with one of these men who identify as women, who is forcing lactation upon a body that they are inducing wrong sex hormones into, in the role of Rebecca De Mornay, the babysitter that basically puts the baby on and feeds the baby while the mum's at work and the mum's doing thing, and then the baby stops eating. And that's my point, is when look, I've got adult children and I know things change and things do, I'm not saying that don't, but I was told by a midwife and a couple of midwives that the best thing to benefit my baby at breastfeeding was to try to prevent going from bottle to boob too much in the first 8 weeks, because it can induce what they call as nipple confusion. So boob in that most of the time, until they get the taste and the smell and that type of thing. So this man is alleging that, and you can see the photos, so alleged whatever, that baby's sucking on his boob. Moob. Hormone boob. Moob. Man boob. Thing. That baby is on it. So regardless at that point whether there is substance coming out of it or not, that's a little bit not right. And I don't give a fuck about your gender roles and your gender fluidity. There's certain things like gravity I've talked about before that's innate to natural law. This is one of them. This is one of them. This is the problem with the mantra, trans women are women. In his little thing, at the end, he's talking to somebody else online, and he says that he had to induce lactation over several weeks, and that he brought on his milk, and that how he can benefit the baby now by helping his wife with the feeding process. Now the problem with that is he's now preventing his wife from giving the colostrum to the baby. The colostrum comes in, is there for the first 3 days before the milk actually comes through. And when my milk came through with my first child, my son, oh my God, I could have fed the starving millions on this planet. Oh my God, there was just so much, like so much. But the first 3 days before that actual white sort of milk comes in, you get this other discharge, this other stuff, and it's colostrum, and it's what has got the most antibodies in it. That's like it's like the elixir for life, basically. It's ambrosia itself. You know, that's what this is. The colostrum is pretty much ambrosia. You know, it is the stuff, the stuff that life benefits from, other than what everybody needs, other than that water. But this is, you know, there's no way, if he's lactating for 7 weeks before he's putting this baby on, that baby is getting introduced to this chemical slime, and there's no benefit of colostrum in that. There is no benefit of colostrum in that he's at all, that he's making. Zero. So it is so hard to tell what one that stuff is, because, you know, every other food that's manufactured, or we've got to get tested by, I think American calls it the FDA. Here is the TGA, and there's standards for this. The reason why there's not needed to be a standard testing for breast milk, because it is natural. It comes from a natural process. This is not a natural process. Now, people are going to go, it's against God. I don't know about God. As I've said, never met him. I can have my ideas, I can have my concepts, and I can have opinions on what I've researched and believe. But as for that, the only thing that is true and innate in truth is natural law. That is the only thing that is truth and innate, is natural law. What is of nature? A chemical concoction that a man who identifies as a woman takes upon themselves to induce lactation is not, it does go against nature. It does go, if we were cavemen living in fucking caves, and our society was at that level, not at this, I mean, fuck man, I honestly think we're at a scientific clusterfuck as far as I'm concerned. Like, what doctors he said he's gone to a doctor, he worked with doctors, and he worked with a lactation expert. The problem with him lactating and the baby going on at this stage is that baby needs to be feeding from mum. Bubba needs to be getting the colostrum straight up. Bubba needs to be helping her bring that milk on. Because if Bubba's not taking, it's not replenishing. The more the well is empty, the more the well will refill. That's the way breastfeeding works. When babies wean, they start not taking as much as they get older. You might be starting them on solid foods. You know, a lot of babies actually struggle with weaning. A lot of babies. I had one that struggled with weaning, and I had one that was quite happy to grow up and move on. So, fuck me, really? Really? So, that's the other part of it. As the lesbian female identifying male with the baby on its boob that's saying it's actually helping the wife. It's helping the wife by hogging the baby at feed time, by putting it on him and fetishizing and validating his delusional wants and over the baby's needs. In this little part, he talks about, in this chat, the side effects to do the protocol as stated because of the side effects of the protocol, and to work with a doctor. Oh fuck! And one, you know they're going to be getting these fucking hormones online. Sorry, I shouldn't clap. You know, one, you know that they're going to be getting these on the fucking black market. Two, he's talking about side effects for him, not the side effects for the baby who's getting an unknown substance that just because it happens to be a milky colour coming out of this male's induced chest, induced pumped, induced by putting a breast pump on, induced by taking chemicals at certain times. His side effects and his fear of side effects apparently takes total precedent over the baby's side effects of drinking that chemical sludge that's coming out of his chest. Why is this happening? How is this on social media? This needs to be, where's your fact checkers? I want to see some fact checkers, people. Bring some fact checkers. I want fact checkers to see whether or not this is fucking true. I want this fucking person put in jail. This cunt can be in jail with man. Don't be putting it in with a woman. It's got its junk. Put it in with men. And I'm not even comfortable with putting those without junk in with women's prison because there's other ways to rape a woman. It's not always about the phallus. He that rocks the cradle indeed. I fucking bet you, guaranteed, that motherfucker had that fucking baby, that infant, that new piece of star, that piece of fractal universe, that piece of consciousness, in the physical meat suit, in the physical form to have an experience. I bet you friggin' 10 times my fucking... Oh, yeah, I bet you. I'll bet you my fucking dash hound, mate. I bet you my fucking little mate. Bet you my dash hound, that motherfucker had that baby on his fucking chest before his fucking wife did. Yeah, guaranteed. Guaranteed. Let's move on to last week because maybe I should have started the other way around, but I didn't. But that's okay. Let's go to last week. Last week, a doctor in India. Yeah, because women have so many rights in India, right? You know, that the trans right agenda and the trans right ideology is not like literally clocking what the rights that those women are getting. So we got a mad-ass Franken scientist. Gotta love me a Franken scientist. Seems to be a lot more of these psychopathic motherfuckers out there nowadays, but... Anyway, so we got one of these that is dead set on putting a uterus, a transplant uterus, from a woman a biological entity that was born woman, that was born female, that grew into woman, and put it into man. A uterus transplant from woman to man. Indian doctor. Like, they don't market and sell these procedures. Like, it's a tourist trade over there for these people. Like, oh. With the, you know, they get acid and they throw it in women's faces over there if that woman rejects them. So you're going to find some psychopath like that that's going to marry another psychopath like that that's going to want a uterus transplant, that then they're going to find and struggle to find women who want to put those uterus transplants on, you know, donation registers, you know. That, yeah, personally, thinking about taking my name off any organ thing, which is really sad. I don't say that very lightly at all, to have to wish ill on somebody else because they have a medical problem that they're going to die if they don't have, over somebody who just wants to experience the woman experience like it's something that you can just fucking purchase, not actually girls' birthright. It's a good thing I got my hat on today and got to keep my head from exploding. So what I'm saying is, tell me how women are not going to go missing more than they are now. They're going to disappear because there's going to be a want and need and amount of uteruses that they're going to need to fund this new business, this new adventure. They're going to want them. They're going to be worth money, certain money. It's just another thing for you know, we hear about I think it's referred to the Falun Gong in China going missing. We know human trafficking is a huge problem worldwide. $1 billion. You know? They could probably find out where somebody's gone and bought, you know, a stick of weed. Billions of dollars in human trafficking, and this is going to be another product on their menu or list to order, or another thing to add to their catalogue. Women's wombs. So here's the thing with the women's wombs. Do we grab somebody off the street with a little bit of research, you know, because Facebook and social media would have to be like a shopping list, like an online shopping. Do we take the ones that haven't had any children, or do we take the women that have had 1, maybe 2 children? Because if we take the women who've had 1, maybe 2 children, we can prove that womb is workable. It's a scary concept. Literally. I agree. Stuff nightmares are goddamn friggin' made of. But apparently, that's where we are now. 2022. Where doctors want to take women's organs, stick them in a man. Personally, I do not know how this is going to work, because women, when we get bigger, our heart moves sideways to accommodate the extra room. Our lungs came up and move. We get short of breath. I'm really not quite sure that the male body's going to know how to do all that. And I personally think that what they're going to find out is that it's not in their genes, it's not in their genetics, it's not in their ancestry, and it's against natural law. That as that baby gets bigger and bigger, it's going to crush the baby and it's going to crush all their organs. It's going to squish their lungs, it's going to pierce their ribs, and it's going to squish their heart. Probably bring on male heart attack too. These people have either a fetish or a mental illness. These people should not, the doctors, none of this should be encouraged. What that baby needs is a mum and a dad, which that baby has, the first guy. But daddy wants to be mummy too, because daddy is jealous of mummy's role in the birthing, in the feeding, doing what her body is meant to do, not what's induced. We're talking the difference between wants and needs. The woman's body adapts for the baby to survive. A genetically born male, the mother's body adapts. It needs that baby to survive. That baby needs that mother's milk to survive. Remember, formula really in its own natural state now is a new thing. Before that, it was wet nurses and nursing mothers. It was a community thing. The mother needs the baby needs the mother. Wants and needs. That man wants to be validated. That man wants to be special. That man wants everything that mother is capable of and sort out unnatural ways to bring it upon his body. It is the difference. Helping a human with what they can't naturally do and making a human completely something they're not. Not just for their own benefit, enjoyment. If they have a dysphoria, then that baby then, by definition, will be validating that man's and giving him euphoria. And that is not that baby's job to do. That baby has not come into this world to give a man validation and euphoria for his wants. That baby has needs. And if they want to breastfeed the baby, then the mother should be breastfeeding the baby, because that is what it has been since humans have been here. For all time. And I don't think humans really have the right to be above nature. Again, I don't care about your gods. I don't care about your religions. Truth has to be based in natural law. This world's getting very dangerous for women. who knows where it's gonna, who knows how it's gonna end up, where we're going. Anyway, that's my little rant on what is uterus transplants for men, inducing lactation and feeding, and having the audacity, the disgusting audacity to post that on social media like you've done something really fucking great, that you've offered something really beneficial for the whole of humanity. A lot of people don't believe in the metaphysical state where the thoughts actually do become things. Whether by acting on our passions, do we actually create manifestation? But everything here in the world has been created by a man, by thought, that has been acted on. Some thoughts maybe should not be acted on. Maybe as a society we need to say, for the benefit of that baby, that man should be removed from the baby's life. And more than anything, he shouldn't not be on social media advertising how to do it for others like himself. There's a third person in this picture. It's not just the mum that has the needs to benefit the baby. It's not just the man who has the wants to be validated. But it's that sweet little baby that for whatever reason doesn't know why he's being just forced to drink this stuff that doesn't taste like his mum's or her mum's. Anyway, thanks for talking to me now. Gonna love you later. Stone out.